Welcome to the Tilted Takes podcast. Welcome to the Tilted Takes podcast. We are back for another episode covering everything within the Fortnite scene. I'm joined with my co-host Panda. How's it going?
What up, everybody? How's it going? It's all right. It's all right. Fortnite's kind of pissing me off. But we're gonna save that for later.
Yeah, I haven't necessarily been playing Fortnite a bunch. That's because I'm currently getting addicted back into another game. I'm still playing. I'm definitely paying attention on Twitch to Fortnite. I still watch Fortnite like every day possible. But the scene's definitely been interesting. Season 5 has brought in a lot of interesting changes out of Epic. A lot that players don't understand, that's for sure. But like you said, we'll talk about that a little later. In this episode, we are going to be definitely talking about the Summer Skirmish, week number 3, which is going to be happening today as you guys are listening to this. It'll be starting, I think it starts at 4. This episode is obviously coming out first thing Friday morning. But let's see. Also going to be talking about the past week. Ninja had his little event. We had the drama with Fortnite Fridays, Friday Fortnites, whatever. Keemstar, I don't know. He's trying to figure out what to do with them, and he was mad at Epic. There was a lot happening, but I think he's moving his to Sunday, starting the 29th. So there's no Fortnite Friday this week, right? It's going to be on Sunday. Has he said anything? I haven't even seen.
This weekend's the 29th, if that's when he's starting it.
So it should be on the Sunday this week, and then Right. So, I mean, last week, let's see. Week number 2 of the Summer Skirmish was a solo. That's the first time they've done a solo. They had like 120 players in the NA side, and they had like 128 some players that competed in the EU side. They did points. They did 10 matches. If you got a victory, you got a certain amount of points. If you got kills, you got a point for each kill. If you also got 10 kills, or no, if you dropped a 20 bomb, you got $10,000, which was really cool to see that incentive, even if you weren't, going to get first place and win a lot of money. Heck, out of 10 games, those pro players, they can drop a 20 bomb easy. So it was really cool to see a lot of players get those 20 bombs. It was definitely a lot of entertainers still. I think Hamlin's, he was freaking on the desk. He was casting, so that was interesting.
Right.
Seeing, another entertainer, but also a really, really strong player come into the little studio there and do some casting stuff. And we actually are having Courage do that this week. So Courage will be casting.
Way too pumped for that, by the way.
Yes, that will be exciting. If you're gonna watch for any reason at all, you should definitely watch just to see Courage basically roast a lot of his friends and players that he plays with. Tim will not be in it. Ninja's not going to be in it. There's a lot of other big entertainers. Lupo will be in it. He is playing with his partner of Rogue, Flower. Rogue had announced a pretty big pickups a week ago. I forget how long it actually was, but Dr. Lupo and the rest of the Rogue team has officially started their Rogue roster when it comes to the competitive scene. So week 3 then, the breakdown is it's called Race to the Crown. The first duos team to reach 13 points is the winner. So that will just depend on the matches may vary. Victory rounds 4 points, 5 or more eliminations is 2, and then most eliminations per match is 6,500. So we have another elimination incentive, give some people some definitely worth their time to go get some kills. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see 4 points, 2. So that's definitely like I would imagine whoever wins will have at least 5 eliminations between the two people. So that's definitely 6 points basically automatically.
You would think that any team of pro players is going to get, well, Now they're playing against each other. Never mind.
Yeah, they're playing against each
I
other.
was just I was thinking about week 2 again and how that was on the pub servers and just
Yeah, they're
never
changing
mind.
it back and forth. But still, I mean, I guess not. I mean, maybe if people do turtle enough, maybe they won't get 5 kills. But to me,
Yeah, but I think in week 1 it wasn't too terrible turtle wise. I mean, the top kills was usually a decent amount.
there was
So
like
I
some
mean,
nines and some definitely some double digit top kills, but there was also like a 6 top kill. But those, I didn't see any top kills that were under 5. That's for sure. Let's see. Let's
right?
see.
I mean, if you can get 5 kills and win, I mean, that's still 2 games of doing that plus another 5 kill game. Like that's the points are kind of weird. 13 points and you're doing 4-2, but
Which means you automatically
whatever.
will play
That's
3
picky by me.
games no matter what. Because if you get
Yeah,
6 and then 6, that'd be 12. That means you have to get at least that next round. Basically, that team all they have to do is get 5 kills and they get 2 points and win. So they're definitely making
this
it to
could also
where
take forever.
it could take forever. Yes, it's very true. There's a lot of good matchups within the teams that were picked by Epic. The reason why I'm so excited for this week is the amount of pro players in the pro Discord that got invites. It's not just entertainers. There are a few still that I'm like, I could do without seeing them in there. But, I understand that entertainers still pull in viewers and still, add a lot to Epic. And, like Tim, for instance, he's not the best. He's not a pro player by any means, but Epic spends a lot of time watching him play for some reason. I think it's just because he's so funny. Um,
He did well last week though.
yeah, he didn't do too bad. I was kind of impressed.
I believe he was top 20.
Yeah, I was impressed to see him get a couple wins, and he definitely wild card active. He did better than Cypher, which I thought was pretty funny. He did better than a few other people that I was like, Tim should not be doing better than them. But again, when you're on pub like that, obviously me and you both know it can be random RNG, and Cypher could have just had some bad games. One of the biggest things from last week that I wanted to, kind of open up and discuss with you, maybe start a little debate between the PC and PlayStation players. A lot of people were upset with the whole PlayStation being allowed in the tournament. We did see Nick Merckx absolutely dominating, getting tons of kills, getting lots of victories on the PlayStation servers. A lot of people say it's easier for him. He can kind of pub stomp because there's such a far gap between players like him. And then we also had somebody who was, again, the whole people are accusing people of being on PlayStation but using keyboard and mouse. So they're definitely taking advantage of an easier server, but still having the advantage of using a keyboard and mouse. And no one was like keeping track of that. So there's definitely a lot of issues still that they need to be decided. Me personally, I think there should be a separate PlayStation one for sure. I just feel like Nick Merckx can destroy on PlayStation, so I don't see how it's fair if he's doing solos. I don't know. Like, just to me, it's so much easier for him to get kills and get wins on PlayStation than if he was playing on PlayStation but on a PC server. You know what I mean?
I do. I know it really just makes just for no debate at all, but I mean I agree with you. It makes it there's just too much of a difference between PC players and non-PC players. I mean, yeah, some PC players, if you're in a pub lobby, you're gonna get those people that are still learning how to use their mouse and keyboard. But I do agree that the average gap between players is a lot higher between like Nick Merckx and a PS4 player than someone else. Honestly, though, I think the way you fix it is you make this just a true pro thing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I love Nick Merckx. I love Ninja. I love Tim. I love Lupo. They're not pros. Until they choose to actually be pros, they're not. Nick is not going to be because he's on PlayStation. Ninja says he's not going to be because of how well streaming does for him, which I totally understand. So I don't know. I understand if Epic wants to get the big names in there so people will watch, but you got to start growing the pro scene versus having these entertainers in here and then bringing in a problem like this.
Right.
It just fixes everything itself when you keep set rules. Is you have your pro players and they have to be on PC.
Right. If you're gonna run a,
Also, again, oh sorry, go ahead.
not to say if you're running a PC tournament, then they need to kind of. I think they need to decide that PC tournament,
Right, it needs to just
PlayStation, like,
stay in one lane.
yeah.
And then back to the keyboard and mouse and just I hate it. I absolutely hate it because
Because
obviously being a PS4 player, that's just not it's not right. If you're gonna play on a console, fucking use the controller.
have you ever run it? Have you
I
noticed?
hate it.
Have you ever noticed when you're just playing PlayStation by yourself and you see someone, you're like, there's no way he's using a controller.
There are definitely times where you're like, all right, this isn't right.
Yeah.
So I mean, unless it's a sensitivity thing, I don't see it. I think it's got to be a keyboard thing, and it just pisses me off.
Yeah.
You know what else pisses me off?
What?
The new meta.
Let's talk about the meta because the meta is not only tilting for us as just casual players. You know, we have pros, we have entertainers, we have a lot of people that are just like basically scratching their head in confusion about what Epic's whole plan and direction is with the meta. I think Panda is mostly referring to the SMG issues right now. We
Very, very much so.
we just had a rarity of Epic and Legendary, right? I think is that Purple's Epic or what's
Yes.
yeah. So
It flips on every game. Who the
the,
hell knows?
the P90 is what we're referring to the gun that shoots extremely straight and has tons of ammo and can break down building faster than like anything. So you're basically taking building out of the game because me as someone who's very very subpar at building on PC, I can run into a good builder and just have two SMGs and span them out incredibly fast. Like the SMGs shoot faster and destroy buildings quicker than the LMG and the minigun. So what's the point of even having those two big guns? Because at first
There's
those
not.
two guns are like, oh, these guns are for maybe you keep this in your inventory to spam out build. Heck, you can do that to SMGs now, and those still shoot decently far and fast and do damage. So it's like, what? I mean, you're look at the
it,
SMGs real quick. I'm
Stu,
going to ask you a question. SMGs are not only ruining shotguns, but they're ruining ARs. I mean, they're ruining shotguns,
they're
ARs.
literally ruining everything.
It's taking away from a lot of the other guns and like how important or like how important your decisions are and what you want to carry. They're just making it like,
People
oh,
are literally running 3 SMGs and either a sniper, an explosive, and then depending on what the fifth slot is, if they want to run a C4 or a health or whatever.
yeah.
I mean, it's just stupid.
I think the P90 is like a good gun, but you have to look at like when they put it in. I mean, it's obviously strong. They need to tone it down a bit, but they put it in at a really weird time. They just got rid of like,
It's been 4 SMGs in a row.
right. It's like all been SMGs, and they've changed the one, and they've also changed how the silent shoots, which means it actually shoots better farther. But like, it's definitely. I get the whole issues with shotguns originally, but they aren't fixing shotguns by adding broken SMGs. I mean,
Well, that's the thing too. They're making shotguns worse.
yeah, I mean, you can use a pump and shoot someone twice and still not kill them. And by that time, that person can go through two full clips of SMGs and completely melt you. So there's literally no point for you to try to use pumps at all.
It's not even fair. If you go up against an SMG with a pump, you have to one-shot headshot, or else you're going down. You will get shredded. They don't have enough bloom to them. I understand close range. Close range is one thing. Like you want obviously the SMG to be able to do that. But like when they don't miss a single bullet, like it's hard. Like I'm obviously bloom pisses me off more than almost anything. But there's there's a give and take with it, you know.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
mean, you gotta be able to. I don't know. I don't want to say you gotta be able to miss some shots because some people just hit their shots better than others. But it's just one of those things. Like you said, the accuracy on it was way too good. And I give props to Epic. They've already come in and changed it 2 days after it got released, and they heard people bitching about it, and they're like, "All right, you know what? We'll change it." But what pisses me off the most is kind of how they're going about it. Like you said, so the Tommy gun comes in, uses AR bullets, but it's still an SMG. Okay. Then we're having all the buffs on the silence SMG. Then we're coming in with a normal submachine gun again,
Right.
which is weird. And not only are they coming in with a submachine gun, they're replacing the tactical submachine gun. Which okay, I get it. You're replacing one with another. But then the next week you come out with another submachine gun. So literally 4 weeks of submachine guns, and you're nerfing shotguns. And if you just look anywhere, people are literally trading in. Uh, People were dropping a gold scar for like a purple P90. Like, or no, uh, I think someone told me Tfue dropped a gold or purple scar for a common SMG. That's how you know it's OP. When that's what it's become, it's ridiculous. And I just don't understand why it's. I don't know what direction they're going with it all being SMGs. I don't know what they're trying to do. Are they trying to? I understand they want to make it as even for everybody and give everybody a chance to win. But what made Fortnite different was the building. So if you're going to sit there and put in things that destroy the building, you're kind of starting to destroy your own game. And I'm not saying Fortnite's necessarily dying off, but it's starting to do things that just don't necessarily make sense.
Yeah. I mean, one thing people need to realize too is that Fortnite definitely is testing things out here and there, but the one big thing, like you just kind of mentioned too, is, I mean, ARs, right? They have first shot accuracy. They can do a lot of damage. They are nice for a decently far range. Back in the day, ARs were also used to spam out walls and use close range to spray. Some people would, take a shot with a pump. If you miss, you immediately swap to a gold scar or a purple scar and you spam them out right in front of you. That's not the case anymore. No one is spamming scars up close. They're just using all these different SMGs they have in the inventory in slot 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those are all different SMGs fully loaded. You can just run down the line and just use all those bullets and spam up close, and that's the whole point. I mean, right now you literally could do a limited time mode of SMGs only, and no one would know any difference. You would literally think it's just normal Fortnite. So, I mean, Fortnite needs to definitely balance it. It's hard, and they're never gonna get it right the first time. But the only reason why I'm scratching my head is they haven't stopped adding SMGs or buffing them.
They've killed the variety on it.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean, I
true.
know they're bringing out this sniper now, but I don't know. I don't know what I don't. It's hard. I don't have a suggestion what they should add versus what they shouldn't. When it comes to like the SMGs, like I don't have something to replace it.
Hmm.
But it just doesn't make sense that it's focusing on that so much while killing off shotguns. Like killing double pump, I understand. Adding the brief time limit between shotgun shot to shotgun shot, I understand. But making a shotgun totally useless, making an AR totally useless, and then having OPC4 and it's just oh man, the game
The
just
stickies. They made the stickies
it's
where
making
if it
oh
lands
my
on
god.
a wall, you can blow up on the other side too. It's like, what's the point of building then if the stickies can do damage basically through the wall? It's like, what?
And again, that's the question right there. Why are you literally ruining what made your game as big as it is?
They,
You're ruining what won your game, the copyright case.
well,
PUBG had no case against Fortnite. Once you really stop and take a look, and you have building, and you have all this other stuff, they had no case. But if you take out building in Fortnite, what is honestly different from any other game like that?
right. Well, I mean, yeah. The bottom line then that would just be any BR is basically the same type of BR. Fortnite definitely put themselves in a much different category with building and their type of style, but I mean, think about back in the day when Fortnite first made that game. Did they really make it and think, all right, we're going to be the biggest esport title? They probably didn't realize that building is going to be a huge issue when it comes to like competitive wise because of people turtling, people just sitting in their base. So they have to do something to counter building. But you
Well,
can't.
that's the funny part. I watched a video where it was like IGN talking to the one of the producers, and he was talking about originally they thought the whole building aspect would literally just be used to build bases and turtle,
Oh,
and it
really?
turned into building up on people and using it to attack and using it to get an advantage.
Huh.
And now it's just I don't know.
It's next level. I mean,
It's the first time we've really gotten actually kind of tilted on
tilted dicks.
podcast here.
I,
First time for everything.
I think we need to continue to watch these competitive games that are happening and see. First of all, you just need to sit there and see, do you enjoy what you're watching? Is it entertaining to watch the Fortnite competitive? Let's say Summer Scrimmage, the duos. We have tons of pro players. We have almost 50 players coming in from the pro scrims that do a lot of that stuff. So, I mean, that will be really big to see the pro players in there, see how they interact when they're playing against other pros. You still have a few that are not pros that will definitely, maybe struggle against, you got Ghost in here, you got all the 100 Thieves, you got Tempo, you got Liquid, you got some Gangstars members, you got Cloud9, you got TSM. I mean, you have Soar, you have so many of these pro teams and pro players that play a lot together and grind a lot and do tons and tons of scrims and practices that it's going to be next level, play, that's for sure. So it'll be interesting to see if there is a lot of turtle. We'll see if Epic's changes over these last couple of meta shifts throughout Season 5 has helped or hurt, because I guarantee every Epic employee is sitting there thinking, well, let's see what happens. They're probably confused and, kind of crossing their fingers as well. Like, let's hope this goes good, because if not, they're gonna have to make another hotfix or change something or think of what they can add in their game. Because building was changed, right, Panda? I mean, like, building was changed a
They
lot,
nerfed it. They nerfed materials.
right? So it's like they're
Like,
trying to find that
why?
happy medium
Why?
between how can we make building important but not the only thing that matters, I guess. But then
I think when
again,
they're going the wrong, it
yeah,
gives people a competitive advantage, and that's what they're trying to get away from. They're trying to make it as balanced of a playing field as possible. But to me, in my opinion, at the end of the day, that's what it should be. If you're good at building, it should make you a better player. That's part of the game. I don't sit there and lose my mind when someone outbuilds me. It's just they're better than me, and they make a better play. Like, that's on me for not being good enough at building.
right.
So I understand they're trying to make it for the general public still, and they're trying to make it as fair as possible and all that, yada yada yada. But at the end of the day, man, I think they're starting to go down a path where they're gonna, again, not necessarily ruin the game, but they're not going down a good path right now with some of these updates.
They have all these limited time modes, and I really think they could look into the idea of let's make a game mode. And 50v50 obviously does this. That's way more casual. There's not really intense building. It's more of a Call of Duty Battlefield style. There's so many people just shooting at each other, but there is building involved. That's more casual. They could also just make another
Right.
mode where, let's say, it's more of a PUBG style. Like, building isn't as big, building isn't as crucial, but then keep normal Fortnite that we all know, where building is the most important. And if you aren't a good builder, you will lose. And keep that so people have something they can play if they want to challenge themselves and like really do. I think they're trying to make. Oh, we have to make this right for everyone. No, use your limited time modes and make it right for everyone, and maybe have
Like a
more.
building disabled mode. I like that.
Yeah, and maybe have more of a quote unquote ranked queue, but not like where you rank up. I know a lot of people want ranked queues, but even just like another queue, like where you just queue in, and this is like normal, like building's normal, you can get 999 mats, the health is normal, but let's say in the casual queue, oh, you can destroy walls easier. It's really for people that don't like to build, they just like to shoot and play Fortnite generally. I mean, I don't know. Like, they could make other game modes to focus on casual members, but also at the same time focus on the competitive side and keep that true skill in the game. Because, like you've been saying over and over, if you take building out, you take away the skill gap and that true competitive side of what Fortnite, like the best part about Fortnite. So, I don't know.
I don't know, man. It's just definitely something to watch, but
And
just not happy about it.
these summer skirmishes again are good. It's good to see Epic make a lot of mistakes, because before they dive into esports completely, that's a big Omega law, because they have $8 million right now going towards this summer skirmish. A company is just swimming in money when they can start out their test esports with $8 million. So
Well,
good for
when
them.
you're making over like 200 or 300 or whatever $1 million it was in a month from skins and shit, I think 8 million's all right.
Right, and they can just casually throw, oh, you get 20 kills? All right, we'll give you $10,000. Like, 20 kills for a lot of these
Right, no
pros is
kidding.
nothing. I mean, they just drop 20, people drop 30 bombs like it's nothing.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
It'll be interesting.
Wish I could.
It's continuing to grow. It's going to change. You mentioned that sniper's coming in. That'll be interesting. If it plays well, bad, helps, hurts, who knows?
Do you think they get rid of? I think they need to start vaulting more things. I really do.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think you need to trim down some of the options. I think it's getting too much
Hmm.
because, I mean, then you want to talk about an unfair advantage. Like, then you're talking about I don't know. It's so hard, man, because I don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, everyone needs gold scars. No, I don't. Like you need some luck of the draw in the game, but at the
Right.
same time, you just have again so many SMGs, so many assault rifles, so many this that. I mean, if you add another sniper in, that's 3 snipers. I think you just need to like start trading off like SMG for SMG,
Hmm.
like they did with the tactical and the normal. I think with this one, I think they should take away the semi-auto. I mean, let's be honest, who actually uses
No
it
one
over
would care.
a bolt? Right.
The hunting rifle and the other one is fine. I mean, like you said, all these submachine guns, there really isn't an advantage with anyone, any of them. I mean, obviously, Tommy gun and the P90, they have the most ammo, so a lot of people like those because you can spray. But like, you get any of those SMGs at the highest the rarity, yeah, you're gonna do pretty well with it when it comes to spraying close range. Why have four? I mean, what's the point? Tommy gun
Right.
again. Oh, it's not an SMG. It uses
It's an
it's an
SMG.
SMG, right? Everyone
It
uses
counts
that.
as an SMG kill.
Yeah, everyone uses it as in that method, and it's even though it can shoot farther range as well. Anyways, I like the idea. I like when it was your loadout was like you had to have certain things. There's definitely a positive and a negative to that, where you have to have certain things to like have the best kit. To where now it's
Like
like
when
there's
explosives was
so
a must-have.
much. Yeah, like now there's
Like whoever had the
so much.
RPG, whoever had the grenade launcher won the game.
Hmm. There's so many options, and I don't know if that's what they want, if that's their goal. But again, if maybe you need to make these freaking P90s very rare because they shouldn't be floor drops where you get them like nothing because they're really strong. There needs to be more rarity.
And
More,
they did in the update they had to nerf. They changed the range, like the accuracy range on them. They changed the damage rate on them. They changed the drop rate on them. They nerfed a lot of it, but is it
okay,
going to make a difference? We'll see.
yeah, I definitely did not read the updated patch stuff, so that's on me.
It's all right.
All right, you want to go through week three players and talk about some of our favorite duos and maybe talk about some that we think will come out on top.
Yeah, my money's on Liquid.
Liquid coming out of the bottom here with the showdown high performers. You got Liquid 72 and Chap. They did really well in week one. That'll definitely be an interesting, combo to look at. Um, let's see. Ginger Pop's also in there for Rogue, but then Dr. Lupo and Rogue. I'm really looking at, obviously we have the Phase and TSM classic, cool. That's awesome seeing them in there. The sort,
Actually, what I think is interesting about the phase part, though, this
yeah,
time what's different, this is the first, in the first summer skirmish, they
skirmish.
weren't together.
Yeah, yeah.
Skirmish? They weren't together in the first one.
Yep.
So now we put them together. We've seen what they do against people in the pub matches, obviously, with Friday Fortnite. But now let's see how good this duo truly is going up against other pro duos.
Yep.
I'm excited about that for sure.
Yeah, that will be good to see them back together and see some of that strategy. They obviously do a very good job of abusing what's strong. They are very aware of what's strong meta wise. So they will not be. Yeah, there'll definitely be RNG involved, especially with a lot of these players, being really talented. You're running into talented people. So drops are definitely more different than a pub. Some people drop slower to see where people are going so they can get a safe landing, which is interesting. Some people drop into a rift so they can relocate and if they try to go to a spot and that didn't work out. So that's
I'll
definitely
never understand
interesting.
that one. I understand kind of the scouting, but what good does it do to actually just drop in the rift?
Dude, it's interesting because let's think about it for a second. Let's just say, make it simple on us and say Trump Tower, right? We're all going to Trump, and there's many of times where you think you're gonna get the shotgun and you land right there next to someone they happen. Get it, boom, you die. In such a high intense situation, if you are like going to Trump and you see everyone around you and you can hit a rift and go to a double house where you can find two chests and get shield and a shotgun and then you can hit all the trees around you. If you have 300 materials in one shotgun, you can win. You can push up on someone with all that material
Yeah,
and kill him. In
it's
theory.
true. You're right.
So it's like
You got me on that one.
I've seen players use it as, all right, this is a really crowded area. This isn't a pub stomp tournament. We need to survive. Let's relocate to that building that I see no one's at, where I guarantee probably have loot and I can get materials. and that's what's obviously key. One gun and materials in a good pro player's hand is a pretty good situation. Obviously, like early on. I mean, late game, that's not ideal, but early on,
Oh no, I want to see the late game. One gun and like 300 capped materials.
dude, we've
That's what I
seen.
want.
Oh, is Kenneth in this 100 Thieves? I don't think he is. God, I was watching Kenneth the other day, and he literally landed. He got a blue revolver, and he like killed 6 people with just headshots, headshots, headshots. I'm just like, even a talented player like that gets one. Like a blue revolver, in theory, is an actually really strong gun. If you get headshots on that, one shot, one kill early on, because not everyone has shield. So I mean, like even a situation like that, I mean, if he's being bomb rushed by a pro with a shotgun or an SMG, he's probably screwed unless he gets a lucky headshot. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting to see. I like the theory and like the theory crafting that come out of the pro players when they're playing other pro players because it's definitely not like, oh hey, we can basically destroy almost everyone we run into. So I know I'm excited for Hysteria and High Distortion. I think that's an interesting combo. Ninja is in Berlin for the game to be unnamed. Just kidding. PUBG little the world global event, and they're doing like a charity game Friday, so he won't be involved. So High Distortion and Stereo are partnered up. That's really interesting for me. You know what else is interesting? We never talked about it. It's been the week we were gone. Camille's. I don't know if you saw, but he kind of got benched for TSM, right? And One Shot Calvin was coming in on the team. So I don't really know how I feel about that personally.
Aimbot cow.
What did I say? One shot.
Yeah,
I was reading
one shot girl.
I was reading One Shot Girl's name at the same time. But yeah, TSM making little changes. Again, I don't think squads matter right now when it comes to quote unquote competitive. I think duos and solos are going to be much more important. But hey, I'm still waiting for a summer scrimmage that is straight squads of every pro team. That would be definitely entertaining.
Lit.
Who else? What are some duos that we're looking at? I mean, you have a couple of the pro teams. You already mentioned the Liquid team. We have a couple other Liquid Poach. He's in there, but a few of the Liquid guys are split up. C9 Blind is in it. He's always been a really good player. We got NRG. He's down there from the Showdown. The other Showdown is starting as well, so tomorrow. So that'll be a lot of people, using that Showdown to try to get into the future summer scrimmages. I know a lot of these players that maybe aren't noticed as much will definitely be using that summer scrimmage to try to get placed really high so they can start competing for money.
Yeah.
Think about how many players can win money. Yeah. It's crazy. Like Fortnite definitely gives the opportunity for people to play money. And it's like Tim joked around. Like, look, man, who else was that? One other person said that I don't remember who it was. But someone else was joking around saying, maybe it was Tim, saying that he can put it in his bio saying like, hey, if I place 20th and I won $5,000, I can now consider myself a pro player. Oh, it was Jack. It was Courage too. Like he's been retired from competitive forever, but hey, I get 20th and I get $5,000. Technically, I competed and I am a pro in Fortnite because I won prize pool money competing in a tournament. A lot of games don't have that low of placement still walking away with some $5,000. I mean, that's pretty casual.
No, and I mean, they're the millennials and their damn participation trophies.
I don't know. One gives a shit about participation.
Participation cash, I guess.
Participation cash. Yeah, whatever. I mean, it definitely.
Am I wrong?
But think about it at the same time. If Fortnite are not these greedy assholes, okay, they are technically giving back to some of these streamers that have grown their game. Tim, for instance, he's a pro player? Right. No. But let's throw him in some of these scrimmages. Hey, scrimmages, whatever you call them. Hey, he places high enough. He places 20th. That's kind of like Epic Fortnite giving him $5,000. A big thanks for streaming our game every day. It's casual. I mean, at the same time, Fortnite's like, we do enough for you because we curated your channel.
There's other ways to do it, though. If this is trying to be a test for the pro scene or anything like that, there's other ways to give back to these streamers. So
that's true.
I'm a pessimist. It's been one of those. It's been one of those days, man.
Well, and then like you just mentioned, look, they had the E3 event, right? Epic flew all of them out, paid for all of their stuff, guarantee it. So I mean, heck.
Oh, they had to.
You're putting them up in the hotel. You're doing all that kind of stuff. That's been done for me before in a different video game. I've been flown out to a gaming convention, put up in a hotel, and the companies just throw money at you. You're just like, oh, I get $60 a day for food, and I eat probably $20 worth. Hell yeah, let me just eat a shit ton of food all day long. Like it's casual. But look at Fortnite. They're probably just how many people they invited to E3. That's a lot of money they're throwing at you.
Yeah, it is, but I don't know, man. They're not hurting for cash. That's for damn sure.
Nope, they're definitely not. And we have to remember, again, I will always preach this on the show. Esports is always going to be a small portion of Fortnite's focus. They obviously have a very, very big casual base. And that's where they make that $300 plus million every month off of skins. So while Tim will just throw 40,000 V-Bucks on every month and just blow it all because he can, that's neither here nor there, but I guarantee a lot more money comes from just your average casual player.
Oh yeah, because I am not proud of how many. No, that's a lie. That's a blatant lie. I am proud of how many skins I bought. All right, I like some of the skins, so I buy them.
You owning
Sue
it?
me. Oh yeah, I'm owning it all day. I work hard for my V-Bucks.
It's kind of funny how back in the day, $60, man, we got ourselves a video game. Now it's like, oh, we can play this game for free. That's so cool. But actually, the free games is what gets you. That's what nickels and dime you.
Let me spend a bunch of money on it
I
anyways.
pay $20 a month. Okay, how many months in until you owe over $60, and now you're actually? I would rather just paid $60 for Fortnite and boom, be done with it.
I was doing so well at not buying stuff,
Ooh.
and then
And you just got a real big boy job too, so that's so much harder when you actually have
oh, it's
cash
bad,
income.
so bad because there's no hesitation now.
Yeah, because I'm still a college student, so
If I like it at all, I'm like, bam, bought.
yeah, I'm still a college student.
Like tonight, buying the freaking shark laser.
That skin is ugly.
Glider.
Okay, the glider's cool, but the skin's ugly.
Whoa.
The skin is
What
ugly.
you got to say about Chop Senior?
Dude, I don't know. I don't like it. It looks weird.
Bruh, you can go hide in the ditch or something.
Oh, okay. I thought it was gonna be much more aggressive.
No, I was trying to tone that one down a little bit.
Oh god, that's funny. So we're in week 3, right? So let's see. That's 5 more weeks of this summer nonsense. Panda, what is that?
And not knowing what's going on.
We have one more week of.
Moving.
Don't move. You're not allowed to move. You're moving again.
I know.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the end of August, we'll go into September. The very beginning of September, that's when this whole thing will end. So we have a lot more weeks of new formats and new styles. So that definitely is going to be something to look at. It starts Friday. Yes.
Sorry. Does season 6 start before this ends?
No, because there's still 7 weeks left.
Yes, true.
So right after this kind of whole thing ends, towards the end of it, there's going to be some hardcore, our classic speculation and what's happening and all those big changes. So that'll be fun.
Yeah. I don't know if they keep hiding it like they did.
Yeah, that's true. They did do it.
The season was tough to guess.
They did a better job. This is happening Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern and Saturday at 1. So the whole EU NA thing I think is still happening, which I like. I like seeing some of those EU people have their chance to shine as well, because there's a lot of smaller names that if you combine NA and EU together, they probably want to get the chance. So separating them gives it more chance.
You have server problems.
Yes, server problems. It makes a lot more sense.
And time problems.
To separate them. And time problem. Gosh, Panda, you're just naming so many great things right there.
I'm just smart.
Yeah. Kind of. Let's see.
Hey.
There's also, the chance for Fortnite to run more of a bracket, more of a tournament style. We'll have to see if anything like that happens, where there's like a bracket and you have to move on instead of just you play 10 games, or you play until
Friday Fortnite version.
Kind of, but without the pub stomp aspect. So I wonder there'd be a, how
are you gonna turn that into a bracket?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. Don't make me think right now. I was trying to wrap my brain around it while I was speaking, and it just didn't quite work.
I was like, this sounded a lot better in my head.
There's a lot of good duos. There's a lot of good, players that are unknown to the average Fortnite person. just the person that watches Ninja every day, the person that watches Daquan every day. They may not know of some of these smaller pro players that, actually dominate and probably could beat some of these top people because they play so much. 100 Thieves Kenneth, I'm telling you guys, if you guys don't watch 100 Thieves Kenneth or even any of the 100 Thieves guys, those guys make some crazy plays and they are crazy talented. And a lot of people that are in the pro scene, like intensely there's a lot of people they name that are like, yeah, he's way better than him. I'm like, what? Really? Why is this person not on TSM? That's because the scene grew so fast that everyone picked up people before they truly knew who was the best.
It's all money game.
Yeah, for sure. All right. I'm trying to think. Anything else? I mean, this is the end of the week. We're gonna definitely focus on getting at least one episode out per week, unless we have more time that comes out. Personally, I like the Friday. I don't know if Friday is the best day to do it, but we kind of have a chance to talk about what is happening this week, and we can just relive what happened all of that week. All the changes that happened throughout the week. Anything on Twitter we see throughout the week, we can talk about that. We recorded on Thursday. This is Thursday for us, but you guys are listening on Friday. But maybe if it's like a Wednesday, we'll have to just see. Maybe a Wednesday release on Thursday would be better. But what else, Panda? Is there anything else? Did we miss anything?
I've been bashing on Fortnite today.
Yeah.
I will say one positive thing.
All right, let's get some positivity in this podcast.
Happy birthday, Fortnite.
Happy birthday, Fortnite.
You are 1 year old as of Wednesday, I believe it was, or Tuesday. So
look how far they came in 1 year.
Thank you for making it a year.
Think about what another year could do. It could kill them. Another year, this game could be pointless.
Just completely gone.
Yep, we could
falling off the map.
We'll be talking about the next battle royale and be like, "LOL, Fortnite suing this battle royale. They have no chance." That actually will never happen. Because Fortnite has this thing called money. When you have this much money, you don't have to sue people. People sue you.
Just throw it around.
All right. Well, this is gonna be.
Other than that, though, I think I've got my frustrations out for the day. I needed to, man. That was a lot of built up frustration there with Fortnite. Fortnite needed to hash that out a little bit.
I think you just need to win some games. Maybe you should just win a few, get a little better, some positive attitude.
Whoa. You don't know me. You don't know my wins.
I think before the show started, we were actually talking about the wins we had this season.
Yeah, I have 295 total. What do you want? How many wins you got there? Endless.
Wait, 229 win total this season?
295 wins total. My lifetime of Fortnite.
I was like, you got, homie. You don't have that many this season, you liar.
No, I do not have that many this season. I have had zero time to play this season.
Yeah, I haven't had any time to play either. Basically, because I'm preparing for the release of another game that I'm not going to mention.
But again, you're dodging the question here. Endless.
What?
How many wins you got?
I have.
You got to talk shit about people winning games.
I have 4. Okay, hop off.
There we go. Come at me like that.
Well.
All right, man. GG's. We just keep rambling. GG's, everybody.
GG's, man.